Brothers, today there was a shocking interaction directly between the Middle East and the Russia-Ukraine battlefield. The two battlefields are about to be completely linked. Netanyahu has been driven to a dead end. He actually came up with an extremely outrageous move. He wants to bring Ukraine into the battle. He even wants Ukraine's elite troops to serve as cannon fodder, to rush to the forefront of the fight against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Meanwhile, NATO is scheming a strategy for dual-front combat from behind. The whole situation has completely exceeded everyone's expectations. Every change is updating everyone's understanding. Let me first talk about Israel's move with the brothers. It completely shows a lack of options. April 1st, Netanyahu made a public speech. Like Trump, he stubbornly proclaimed, "We've won." But any clear-sighted person can see, Israel has long been at a standstill. Since the war started until now, Israel has been repeatedly defeated by Hezbollah in Lebanon at the northern border. 5 reorganized divisions have been tightly stuck at the borderline. They can't even break through the borderline. 80% of the anti-aircraft missile stock has been depleted. Now they even directly give up on intercepting Iran's hypersonic missiles and MIRVs. Literally, the homeland is bombarded daily by Iran's missiles. The country's largest Haifa refinery has been bombed to a standstill. The energy lifeline is cut off. Domestic inflation is out of control. The public is voicing complaints. The main battlefield is unmovable. The gap in resources is widening. Soldier morale is at its lowest. Netanyahu really had no more options. He actually put his ideas on Ukraine, thousands of miles away. Israel clearly stated they will sign a formal cooperation agreement with Ukraine next. They will not only provide comprehensive military and economic assistance to Ukraine, but also fully guarantee Ukraine's loan applications to international banks. And the only condition set by Israel is for Ukraine to dispatch an elite ground troop to the Middle East to cooperate with the Israeli army. On one hand, to attack Hezbollah in Lebanon, and on the other, to achieve a formal ceasefire in the Gaza region, to free up all Israeli forces to manage the northern battlefield. Many brothers will ask, Zelensky agreed to such an outrageous stand. Not only does he not oppose it, but the schedule has already been finalized. On the contrary, the schedule has already been finalized. Prepare for official negotiations with Israel in the next 2 days. He opens the first round of formal negotiations on behalf of the delegation. The reason couldn't be simpler. Zelensky is now very short of money. The Russia-Ukraine battlefield has been fought for more than 2 years. Western aid is becoming more and more stingy. Promised funds and weapons are delayed again and again. Ukraine's national treasury has long been empty. The frontline troops are almost running out of ammunition. Now Israel is taking the initiative to give money and weapons. How could he not be tempted? Moreover, Zelensky originally wanted to expand the scale of the war, drag more countries into the conflict, to make Russia fall into a greater passive situation. Now there's an opportunity to completely tie the Middle East and Russia-Ukraine battlefields together. It fits his intentions perfectly. More importantly, now both Israel and the United States have a demand for him. He can sit and raise prices, demand more funds and military equipment. This is also the core reason why he is willing to sit down for negotiations. According to current news, Zelensky can probably withdraw about 5,000 elite troops from the Russia-Ukraine front line. Israel is eager for this force, just waiting to rely on these cannon fodder to break the stalemate on the northern battlefield. And behind this matter, NATO's instigation is indispensable. It can even be said, this is a trick NATO planned long ago. Brothers all know. Now, European countries both angry and afraid of the United States, not satisfied with the U.S. forcing them to deal with Iran, yet afraid of completely offending the United States. After much thought, they came up with this roundabout way. Their plan is very clear. Let NATO mercenaries enter Ukraine to hold the front line of the Russia-Ukraine front for the Ukrainian army. Replace Ukraine's regular army from the front. Then send these withdrawn Ukrainian troops into the Middle East to assist the US and Israel in combat. In plain terms, just use Ukrainian soldiers as cannon fodder, satisfying the US demand for more troops in the Middle East without risking their own troops. The calculation is well made. Now the only problem now, it is the hiring price from all sides. The details of weapon assistance have not been finalized yet. Once it is settled, this set of operations will be implemented immediately. What is even more ridiculous is Israel's calculations are even more ruthless. They don't actually want the Ukrainian army to help. They want the Ukrainian and American forces to charge in front as cannon fodder, to tackle Lebanon's stronghold, blocking in the mountain fortress, while Israel's own troops hide behind to oversee the battle. Brothers, take a look. What has the world turned into? A war initiated by Israel itself. They don't dare to rush forward themselves, actually spending money to hire Ukrainian soldiers to die on their behalf, and trying to drag the American military to be the vanguard. This is beyond absurd. It shows that Israel has exhausted its means. It has reached a dead end. As soon as this event occurred, Russia immediately got alarmed. Not a joke at all. Russia is more aware than anyone. Once Ukraine and the Middle East battlefields are firmly tied together, Israel and the United States provide Ukraine with continuous funding and weapons. The situation on the Russia-Ukraine battlefield will be reversed immediately. The Ukrainian army, which was already about to collapse, will receive a continuous flow of war funds. This war will become even more endless. So starting yesterday, Russia has already fully intensified its offensive, officially launched the spring offensive. It is trying to take advantage while Ukraine has not finalized the talks with Israel, during the window period when the Ukrainian army has not been mobilized. Seize more initiative on the battlefield in a timely manner. I have previously mentioned in the video to the brothers, Russia's first window period was wasted. After the Middle East conflict broke out, the West's attention was entirely drawn by the Middle East. They could have taken advantage of this opportunity to launch a full-scale offensive on the Russia-Ukraine battlefield. Instead, they chose to sit by and watch, letting the opportunity slip through, completely missing the best chance, almost getting themselves into trouble. Now, a second window period has appeared. Ukraine has conceived the idea of diverting forces to the Middle East. The military morale will inevitably waver. The West's attention will also be further distracted. If Russia can grasp it well this time, it's never too late to mend the fold after defeat or lost. But if it fails to grasp it again this time, I'm afraid this war will really drag on until 2030. After talking about the linkage between Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East, let's talk about Hamas and Gaza. This time Iran, Hezbollah in Lebanon. Houthi forces have launched strikes against Israel and the United States in turns, but Hamas has taken no action throughout. Many brothers will ask, why is this? Actually, the reason is very simple. Hamas is holding back anger. On February 25th, Iran, in order to ease the situation, directly handed over Hamas, equivalent to abandoning this longtime ally. This operation by Khamenei directly disheartened Hamas. The current Hamas has neither Iranian weapons nor financial support and is full of resentment towards Iran. Naturally, it will not act with Hezbollah and Houthi forces. But brothers also need to understand, Hamas is in a very difficult situation now. Gaza has been bombed into ruins by Israel. Without external support, the military and survival pressure it faces will only increase. If it doesn't make a new choice soon, its future situation will only become more dangerous. The entire situation has already turned chaotic. The Middle East battlefield and the Russia-Ukraine battlefield are about to be completely connected. Plot. Israel's calculations, Ukraine's opportunism, Russia's counterattack, and the actions of Iran and various armed forces are intertwined. With the slightest mistake, it could trigger a full-scale war covering the entire Eurasian continent. Israel thinks that dragging Ukraine into the fray can reverse the decline, but it forgets that Hezbollah has been operating in the mountains for more than a decade. Even if the Ukrainian army comes, it won't change the battlefield situation. It will only result in more innocent soldiers dying in vain. The scale of this war will keep expanding, eventually dragging more countries into this bottomless pit. If you want to keep up with the latest international issues, dear friends, please hit follow.